All right, today's lesson is all about surface area. Now we're doing surface area of different shapes now. Here we are working with pyramids, right? And there are different kinds of pyramids that we're really focused on. We've got a square pyramid and we have a triangular pyramid. This could also go with a rectangular pyramid, whether it has a rectangle, square, or triangle on the bottom, but a pyramid shape there. Today we're also talking about cones. So again, one base, circular at the bottom. And then, of course, a sphere, any kind of ball shape, okay? All right, the materials you're going to need, your spiral notebook, calculator, and please have an open mind today. The formulas are going to look kind of complicated, but they certainly are doable if you look at it in terms of substitution and solving like we do in algebra. The vocabulary and the prior knowledge you're going to need, of course, area is a space covering a shape, or inside a shape, perimeter is around, distance around, and you have the formulas for area of a rectangle, circle, and triangle. Go ahead and pause the video, make sure you have the materials you need, and then come on back and we'll do some practice problems. All right, to start with, I really want you to make sure that you are looking at this in terms of use of formulas. I'm going to give you a formula. Can you find the numbers that you need, put them into the right spot, and then solve from there? I really don't want you to worry about memorizing them. I will be giving you the formulas, or you'll be given them on the EOG, and then you just need to know how to use them. So think of it in terms of plugging the numbers in and solving. Okay? Don't get intimidated by those formulas. I know they can look a little complicated. Just look for those pieces of information. All right, take a look at this one here. We're looking at a square pyramid. And this is the formula. Now, when you look at the formula, I want you to really kind of digest and understand what are the different pieces. You've got the fraction, 1/2, and that's because you have a whole bunch of triangles on the outside, and 1/2 goes along with the triangles. You've got a P, that stands for the perimeter, and we're finding the perimeter of the base, whatever the base shape happens to be. This L stands for the slant. When you're looking at a pyramid, it's not going to be straight up and down. You're going to need to know how long is it slanting towards that point, the slant, okay? And then big B. Anytime you see a big B in a formula, that just means the area of the base. Whatever the base shape is, area of the base. So we're going to break that down into little pieces. Here we have a square pyramid, so we are going to do 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant. And we're going to add to that the area of the base. This base is a rectangle or square. Same idea. You're multiplying two edges together. So you take out the B and put in length times width. Now let's just find all those different pieces of information. The perimeter. Looking at my shape, do you see how the perimeter would be 20? The slant is 8. And then, of course, just looking at the bottom, what is the length and width of the bottom shape? Grab your calculator, go ahead and multiply that out and see how I'm getting this answer of 105 centimeters squared. Give you an idea of how to do that. And then, go ahead and copy this shape, pause the video, and see if you can figure out all the pieces that go with it. And then come on back and we'll share and see if you are on the right track. All right, so what you should have said to yourself is, okay, perimeter. What's the perimeter of this bottom shape? Well, if I add up all the way around, I've got 7, 7, 7, and 7. That gives me my 28. What's my slant? That's the 12. Oops. And then the area of the base. Well, what kind of shape is at the bottom? It's a square, so I should be doing length times width. Just looking at the base, what's the length and the width? Did you get 7 times 7? Remember, it's all about plugging in the numbers. Once you can find all those 4 pieces of information, now you grab your calculator and multiply them out. And what you should have gotten was 168 for that stuff, 49 for the base piece, and when you add them together, you get 217 inches squared. 217 inches squared. Let's try another shape. Remember, it's all about just taking a formula, finding the pieces of information, and solving from there. Here is a cone shape, okay? a cone. So here's our formula. Notice the pi, r, and l. Pi because we're dealing with a circle and a radius, right? So we've got pi times the radius. The L again is the slant. How far is it slanting towards that point? And then B for area of the base. So I've taken, okay, the base is a circle shape. So that's the formula for a circle. Now let's plug in all the numbers we know. Of course we know pi. Radius for this one is 7. And the slant, pi again, and the radius 2 times. Go ahead and grab your calculator, multiply that all out, and see how I came up with this answer of 637 and 42/100 inches squared. Multiply it out and make sure that you get what I get. And when you're all done, go ahead and pause the video, copy this shape, and try it on your own. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and see how you did. You should have gotten 3.14 times the radius, and in this case the radius is 3. The slant is 25. And now we're doing the area of the base. The area of the base. Well, for that piece I'm going to do 3.14, and I'm running out of room here, but I'm going to multiply the 3.14 times the radius again. This is a circle, remember. Pi times radius times radius. So there's my pi. My radius is 3. My radius is 3 again. So we are going to multiply all those numbers, multiply all the other numbers, and then add them together. Is that what you got? If you didn't get it, rewind the video and see how I got all those numbers for that first example and see if that will help you out. Otherwise, let's move on to one more shape. Wait till you get to sphere. It's a lot easier. The formula is much less complicated. Here you have a sphere. You know my drawing abilities are not wonderful, but here's my sphere. Here is the formula. See how short that is? I knew you would like it. So all you have to find here is one piece of information, and that's the radius. So we're going to multiply 4 times pi, 4 every single time, times pi, times the radius again. Go ahead and multiply that out and see how I got that answer. And then draw yourself this shape and try it on your own. And then come on back and we'll do one more together. Okay, great. For this one, did you get 4 times pi times the radius, which happens to be 6 for this one, times 6 again? When you multiply all that out, you get 452.16 feet squared. Remember, we're doing area for each one of these three-dimensional shapes, so it's always going to be squared. Don't get intimidated by the formulas. Just look at it and say, what do I need to know? Find it, and then multiply it out on your calculator. We'll see you soon in class. We'll do a lot more examples together.